The first day at a new school is never easy. For Aiden Cole, it felt like stepping into an arena, but not the kind he was used to. The hallway buzzed with chatter, lockers slamming shut, sneakers squeaking against the polished floor. Eyes followed him, sizing him up like predators studying their next prey. He kept his head down, his backpack slung over one shoulder, trying to blend in. But in a place like this, blending in was impossible, especially when the sharks smelled fresh blood. At lunch, it happened. 3 boys, big, loud, and cocky, cornered him near the vending machines. Their leader, Chad, sneered. "New kid. You don't belong here." Aiden didn't respond. Years in MMA had taught him control, patience, and restraint. But Chad's crew took silence as weakness. The first shove was light, almost playful. The second was harder, enough to slam Aiden against the cold metal of the vending machine. "Hey, I'm talking to you," Chad snapped. Then came the threat, "You either hand over your lunch money, or we teach you a lesson." The lesson Chad had in mind was far different from the one Aiden was capable of teaching. But Aiden's father, his old MMA coach, had drilled one thing into him since he was 12, never throw the first punch unless you have no choice. The shove turned into a raised fist. Chad swung. That's when Aiden's instincts kicked in. In less than a second, his body reacted, a fluid sidestep, a quick parry, and Chad's fist met empty air. Aiden didn't strike back, not yet. He just stared at Chad, his calm gaze rattling the bully more than any punch could. But the 2 other boys lunged in. This time, Aiden moved like a ghost, ducking, weaving, deflecting. One boy stumbled forward as Aiden shifted, using his own momentum against him. The crowd that had started gathering gasped, whispering like this was a movie fight scene unfolding in real life. "Stop dodging, you coward!" Chad roared, coming in again. But before his punch could land, Aiden caught his wrist, twisted gently but firmly into a joint lock, and stepped back. No harm, no injury, just enough pain for Chad to feel completely powerless. "I'm not here to fight," Aiden said quietly. "But if you make me," he let the sentence hang in the air like a warning bell. They stepped back, muttering insults to save face, but they didn't try again that day. The crowd parted for Aiden as he walked away, some clapping under their breath. The next week was harder. The bullies didn't stop, they just got smarter. They spread rumors, mocked him in class, tried to trip him in the hallways. Aiden stayed calm, refusing to let his temper win. But inside, he was frustrated. He'd left his old school for a fresh start after losing his father to a sudden illness. Now, instead of peace, he was fighting to keep his dignity without crossing the line into violence. One afternoon, after gym, Chad and his crew cornered him behind the bleachers. "No crowd now," Chad sneered. "Let's see if you can dance without an audience." Aiden sighed. "You don't want to do this." But they came at him anyway. This time, Aiden didn't just dodge, he flowed. A sweep kick here, a quick feint there, and within seconds, all 3 bullies were on the ground, gasping and groaning, not hurt badly, but completely humiliated. He crouched beside Chad. "You think strength is about who can hit harder? It's not. Real strength is knowing when not to hit at all." Word spread fast. The new kid wasn't just good at fighting, he was a champion. A former junior MMA title holder. But the biggest surprise was that he never bragged, never picked fights, never sought revenge. Instead, he started spending his free time teaching other students basic self-defense moves after school. Kids who used to feel powerless began walking a little taller. One day, Chad showed up. He didn't say much, just stood there, watching. Then, after a long pause, he muttered, "Can you teach me too?" Aiden smiled. "Yeah. But it's not just about fighting. It's about discipline." By the end of the semester, the bullies weren't bullies anymore. The school hallways felt lighter, safer. And for the first time since his father's passing, Aiden felt like he was carrying on the legacy not in a championship ring, but in the way his dad would have wanted, by standing strong, protecting others, and teaching that true strength comes from respect, not fear. When graduation came, people didn't remember Aiden as the new kid or the MMA champ. They remembered him as the one who changed the school without throwing a single unnecessary punch. And somewhere, Aiden knew his dad would have been proud.